What is going on, guys? It's Justin, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the wow factor in WWE. Has WWE lost its wow factor? Over the last couple of weeks, we've had not so great Raws, and people have been saying that WWE's progressively going downhill. They haven't really offered us that big of a wow anytime recently, and by wow I mean like bringing back stars or giving us, the newest thing I guess would be Brock Lesnar. But how long had Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar came back for what, 2 appearances? That's it. So it's not really that big of a boom. Sure, the one night boom when he came back on Monday Night Raw, but after that it was like a fizzle really quickly downhill. Other than that, we haven't seen anything that's really sparked the fire underneath WWE. And the problem with it, WWE is normally what they do is they use older stars to give that wow factor. And to me personally, I find that is a problem that they have. If you think about it, 2 years ago when Nexus came in and attacked everyone, that was like completely something new, had never been done before, and of course that went downhill quickly as well. I don't understand why the WWE can't do something else like that where it's the younger stars that are coming in. Even if they did like a younger stars invasion angle against the older stars, just to show their place in the company, I think that would be something new and something innovative. I don't like the fact that the WWE has to rely on bringing back Stone Cold, or rely on bringing back The Rock, or rely on bringing back other stars to give that impact, that wow factor. And it's funny because for years, Rowdy Piper used to do that. But if you look at the last Raw, when Piper came out with Cyndi Lauper, it was pretty funny because no one knew who Cyndi Lauper was out there. There was probably, I would say, 30% of the demographic on WWE fans out there that actually knew who Cyndi Lauper was, or knew who Wendy Richter was. Of course, they would know who Rowdy Piper was, but Rowdy Piper, the storyline there, or the segment that they didn't relate to the fans actually watching, which is a huge problem, because if you're going to take up that much airtime, at least have it relate to what the fans know. So that's not a wow factor. Rowdy Piper used to be the master of wow factors. He used to come out and speak his mind and have segments where he just blew the roof off of whatever wrestler he was interviewing in Piper's Pit. But even Piper's Pit has fizzled down due to the fact that we had like the Cutting Edge, the Peep Show, numerous other segments that are similar to Piper's Pit. It really watered down the environment of Piper's Pit. Other than that, there hasn't been any really wow factors. Even WrestleMania, if you look, they had Rock versus Cena last year. How do you top Rock versus Cena at a WrestleMania? Especially since there's no guarantee that The Undertaker will actually wrestle at this WrestleMania. The only thing that I could see is if Sting came in and wrestled The Undertaker. That's the only thing that could be a wow factor, and I don't think that's ever going to take place. So, there's no other big boom kind of names that they could drop to actually sell WrestleMania, especially since WrestleMania is in Long Island. So, New York or New Jersey, you would think that it being the city sort of what WWE built, because New York City was the mecca of WWE back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You would think that they would have a big name for the marquee, but realistically, who do they have right now that could actually, have that match to star WrestleMania, to bring in the fans for WrestleMania? There's no one I can think of. There's no match I can think of that's got that wow factor. And it's kind of sad because the wrestling industry back in the day, back in the 1980s, even in the early 90s, had enough stars that they could rely on to actually build marquee matches. Even if, you look at the 80s, you had Hogan Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, even in the 90s, Yokozuna, Bret Hart, Diesel, Undertaker. The names went on, and now we have headlining stars, but we have no stars that, like I said, have that wow factor, because they've all been used in WrestleMania. They haven't developed enough younger stars to come up and have that key match that, people are like, wow, I want to see Cody Rhodes versus, I don't know, Kobe Kingston in WrestleMania, as the marquee match. They've never done anything like that, and that's the problem I find with WWE right now. Like I said, there's no wow factor anymore, and like I said, it's very sad that they have to rely on the older stars to come in and do that. And I think that that's going to be a problem come the 1,000th episode of Raw too, because they're building up this 1,000th episode of Raw, giving us moments of Raw throughout the history of Raw. But at the same time, Raw for that one night could or could not be a good Raw. It depends on how they play it. They're going to bring in, they're going to bring in tons of older wrestlers for the 1,000th episode, but it's a matter of who they bring in, and it's also sure you'll get that wow factor for that one night, but that's only for that one night. Where do they go after that? And you have to also remember how the WWE normally runs things. They will have whatever storylines they build up to the 1,000th episode, have the 1,000th episode, which will have nothing to do with the storylines, so that will be that empty space there, and then build the storylines after that. And it's always bad when they do that because, the storylines should be continuously going through, and when you have that break, it's never that great, there's no names that I can see unless you're going to have Stone Cold go against someone at WrestleMania, and I don't see that happening. Like I said, there's nothing huge that can really happen that hasn't happened before. Even The Rock said, "Oh, I'm never leaving. I'm gonna stay. You haven't seen the last of me. I want to challenge someone I want to be champion." Who are we gonna have The Rock go against at WrestleMania for the title? There's no one that's huge of a factor in WWE right now that The Rock could headline WrestleMania with. And do we really want The Rock to headline WrestleMania again? He's had his opportunities. Like I said, have the younger stars come out there and let them have their spotlight. Have, the likes of Wade Barrett or someone to that extent, even Drew McIntyre. Someone that needs the opportunity to shine, headline WrestleMania. So I want to get your guys' input. Has WWE lost its wow factor? You guys let me know, comment below, and I'll catch you guys later. One love, Matt love, peace.